Hello everyone, back with another video about my completely biased, completely subjective, all about me, selfish sort of best of, this time the 2-inch prop category. And there's not a lot in here, so this should be relatively short. If you're looking for smaller prop size, I've already done that video, it should be published. I will put a card right up here for your viewing pleasure. You can click that up there and you can go watch my kind of best of whoops. And not all this stuff is new. I've been kind of sticking to what has been bind and fly, but in this particular category, because I've got one that's just, it's really my favorite, I'm going to show that to you anyways. And that, to start off the list with, is my TKS Rocket Race 2S edition. And you can't hardly see it because my face is... There you go, camera. Good job. All right. So this is a super tiny micro. Of course, this is analog, and I have featured this on the channel. And it's just so much fun. You know, if you still fly analog and you like micros... This is my favorite. This is my favorite to fly. So much so that I've built 4 different kind of variants of this thing. And whenever I have a 2S battery charged and I'm going to fly outside, I take one of these out there with me. You can build this for 1S. You can build this on a 3D printed frame, which you can find on Thingiverse as well, TKS Rocket Race. And... yeah, it's so much fun, and you can get these from Jack's 3D Printing. I've been hearing that this particular frame has been out of stock, so if you want to build something that's very similar, look at the Star-Lord, which I do also have here on the desk. But my Star-Lord is set up for 1S. I think it would be fine on 2S because of the thickness of the carbon, but... you know, I prefer it just to be a touch smaller. There's something about just being a little bit smaller that makes my enjoyment factor go up. Of course, these are running on all-in-one boards. As far as the Rocket Race 2S edition, what I recommended most people do would be to go out and find the UZ85. It's a Whoop kit for 85mm, and then you take those components and you put it in the Rocket Race. Pretty much that kit, the only places you can get it would be like Banggood and AliExpress. I've been buying them from AliExpress. I've actually got 2 boxes sitting over there. I won't grab them right now because that's really the most, well... It's the place I find available in stock that I can get those components all at one time. The 1102 10,000 kV motors are really hard to come by. It seems to be that Happy Model, who in my opinion is making those and sending those out, has been sending all those motors with just that kit because it's really hard to find the 1102 10,000 kV motors available on our favorite web shops. So that kicks off our list. The Rocket Race is by far my favorite 2-inch quad, and it is analog. To get back on our list topic and go with a bind and fly, it's actually one I don't even have. Yeah, again, giveaway regret. Every time I see a video of it posted on Facebook or someone's talking about how much fun they're having with theirs, this is a quad that I wish I wouldn't have given it away, and that is the GepRC Phantom. This is the original one that was running the 65mm props. It's 2S. It's just a lot of fun. You know, it's got that traditional freestyle sort of frame and layout to where you can put that battery on top, and those of you that have flown both underslung batteries and top-mounted batteries, there is a difference, and maybe you can do a better job of describing it down in the comment section, so if others are asking. For me, it just feels a little bit different. It feels like you're carrying the battery, kind of like you are on the frame, rather than that you're pulling the battery along with you when you're going, especially around corners. Corners at speed is where I notice the biggest difference. It's also nicer for landing in that you don't tend to land on your battery every time. Of course, the GepRC Phantom, it's been a couple of years that it's been out. I did look it up before I started recording this video. It is still available for purchase, so lucky for us, GepRC is still making that quad. If you have one and you've had any difficulties with it, that's something I haven't heard much about, is difficulties with the GepRC Phantom. This is the one with the 65mm press-on props. Please leave that down in the comments section, because I think most people are having really good experiences and really enjoying that one. Of course, that is also analog. So I've got nothing in the HD0 category. Of course, HD0 has only just kind of dabbled into the bind and fly arena. So we're going to go into the DJI or Caddx Vista or Air Unit Lights, whatever you refer to them as. And this is the one that I like the most, and it is the GepRC Phantom HD. And this one is a lot of fun. You might remember I not only reviewed this back when it came out, but Race Day Quads had a sale, or kind of a sale, to where they'd give you, I think it was a $50 gift certificate if you bought one of these. And so I did buy one. You might see it perched right up here, maybe. Get my finger over there right about there. Here, let me grab it. Zoop. So yeah, I've got two. One's naked, one's not naked. They'll be coming up in the video, but these are just a lot of fun. And even when it's not naked, with the motor prop weight combination and running a multi-cell battery, it's light enough to where it still feels like a micro, and it doesn't feel like it's a bloated micro, but it's got enough weight to where you get throw over stuff. You know, one of my classic throw moves, I guess, is to throw it over the house from either what used to be the shed side or the garage side over the chimney side, or the other way around. But it still has enough weight that you can get that throw. Of course, this came out with the original Nebula Nano camera, and a lot of people didn't like that camera, and I can see why. It had really hazy shadow effect, and then there was kind of like a silent upgrade to the Nebula Nano, which made it a lot better, but still not as good as you might expect from the larger DJI cameras. So maybe you want to swap this out for that Nebula Nano Pro that they've come around with. So that might be an upgrade you want to take a look at for this particular quad, but it's really kind of the only upgrade that I think is necessary. It flies nicely. It has good flight time, good flight performance. It's top mounted again, so second GepRC battery, basically the same sort of configuration, just a larger configuration with a 2.5-inch prop that we had on the original analog version, the GepRC Phantom. So yeah, that line seems to be running pretty hot. If you have one of these as well, comment down in the comment section and let us know about your experience with this and how much you're enjoying it, or if you've had troubles with it as well. And that's pretty much 2-inch in a nutshell. We really haven't seen a whole lot of different quads in the 2-inch category. It's kind of been ignored. And with the Rocket Race, I tried to get a number of companies to take 2-inch back up. I think there is a lot of unexplored territory, especially in the last couple of years, where 2-inch just hasn't gotten its due, as our micro components have gotten smaller and lighter and better performing. That these are much more capable than they used to be. So if I have to expand outside of the traditional 2-inch, the next one I would go to would be one I just actually featured in the Whoop one, and that is the GepRC Cinelog25. It is running a 2-inch prop, so it kind of fits into this category, but it is prop protected, so it kind of fits in the Whoop category as well. I featured it kind of as a more aggressive or performance-based sort of Cin Whoop. It's got prop protection. And, you know, if you like prop protection, you want a 2-inch quad, one that's probably only likely fitting to fly outside. You could fly it kind of cruisy style inside, you know, if you're trying to get a shot or something like that. Maybe you're doing a home tour, you're flying it slower. It's going to be perfectly viable, but flying it more aggressive, it's getting a little bit big for that. But good performer outside as well. One, just like in the last video, I enjoy it. I tend to fly this one with some regularity. And also in the 2-inch category would have to be the iFlight C85 HD. So this was also in that category, and this is also kind of a Whoop, but it is still 2-inch props, and it is DJI, so those people looking for DJI sort of products, this is another one. Doesn't perform nearly as well as far as flight aggressive abilities as the Cinelog25, but it still performs a lot better than a lot other quads in this form factor with DJI. So this is one that I think is good fun. Doesn't offer any camera protection whatsoever, so that thing is right out there to be smacked and whacked, and something you have to be especially aware of. Of course, you know, maybe somebody out there has designed a different sort of mount that gives you some sort of camera protection. You know, it is TPU, so if you do mount the camera, there's the potential that the impact will be lessened by the bendability or flexibility of the TPU. But this is one that I have kept it, and I enjoy it. And that's it. So my last question is, how do we get more manufacturers to make bind and flies in the 2-inch category? I've tried. I apparently have no sway, or such little sway that nothing happens. Is it just, maybe we just need to wait? Maybe this spring, maybe the chip shortage is, they're focusing on other things because they have more profits to make? I don't know how you can get manufacturers that make bind and flies to have more excitement about 2-inch props or 65mm props. I kind of put them all in that category because it's less than 3-inch. By the way, if you're looking for me to do this sort of video about anything larger than a 4-inch prop or a 4-inch prop and larger, I'm not going to. I've only flown like 3 or 4 4-inch quads in the last maybe year and a half, whatever those started coming out and started becoming a thing. I don't think they require that category, and I haven't flown nearly enough of them to make this sort of category. And I won't be doing 5-inch because I haven't flown a 5-inch in years. I haven't flown anyone else's 5-inch. I haven't flown my own 5-inch. If you can look back, well, you can't really see it, but behind those shirts on the wall is probably about a 5-year-old 5-inch. I don't even know if I've got a receiver in it that I could currently use, but no, a 5-inch just isn't my bag. I try to stay in my lane and just stick with micros. But so these are what I think you should at least give a look if you're interested. You know, the Rocket Race is kind of an assembly. It's a no solder build for the most part. It is worth noting that I tend to use the Caddx Ant Light camera, or the Ant camera in these, rather than the one that comes in the Uzi 85 kit. Just a little better camera, fits neater in here. So you do have to blend the connector that comes with the board in with the camera connection that you need for this, but otherwise it's pretty much just plug and play. If you just use the Uzi 85 parts and you put it into the Rocket Race, it's just you plug it in, screw it in. I've got a video with iFlight installed on mine. I haven't gone to Betaflight tuning on that. I just continue to slap my iFlight tune on it, and it works out really good, and I like how it flies. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or otherwise, please let me know in the comments section below. I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.